I was quite involved with George Moscone. I mean, that's really where it started. I put a fundraiser together for John Burton because some friends asked me to. It was really more about making our house available in Marin. And how come that I was public with Dianne and then disappeared, okay? One was when she became mayor, she said, look, I don't want assassination to be responsible for changing a regime. So her commitment was to keep all, she didn't fire any of the Moscone people, which, by the way, was a smart thing to do, was the right thing to do. I knew a lot of them. And I kind of knew the key people and who was, she, you know, I mean, she didn't know Rudy Nothenberg, who was a deputy mayor who had come from the assembly, had worked for Willie Brown, and I said, Rudy is as good a guy as you'll ever find. We started the Mayor's Fiscal Advisory Committee together, and, you know, he's been a lifelong friend. She made him chief administrative officer, et cetera, et cetera. But for the first, I mean, you have no idea how mortified, sort of petrified this city was after those assassinations. And so she, after running for mayor twice, not getting there, thinking she has no future in politics, one morning she became the mayor, acting mayor. So I stopped doing everything else and just tried to help her for a number of months. One of the reasons I was particularly able to help her is because I knew some of these people. So also we were concerned too about People's Temple, folks that were wandering around the city. We had security with us everywhere we went. And so I didn't think it was, it's not that I was with her 24 hours of the day, but then you got to remember, she was the first mayor, not only first mayor of San Francisco, she was the first woman mayor. She was the first woman mayor of a major city in the United States, period. So you were back in an era, well, you know, I mean, how can you expect a woman to run anything? So to the extent, you know, that we were seen together, or that people were asking me questions, you know, there was sort of this beginning to circulate, well, rumors, well, who really is running this city anyway? Well, and you know, guys like Walter Shorenstein, who never believed women could do anything, was, do we really want this guy Blum running the town, you know? I mean, he never said that to me. Actually, he was always friendly to me, but so I said, so we kind of made a joke about it at some event, and I said, well, other people are coming out of the closet, but I'm going back into it.
Oh, it's you who says it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
So it didn't mean much changed in terms of I would back then, you know, I do less today. But, you know,
you must have talked over.
Well, we were talking about issues this morning, for God's sake. Point is, whatever I was going to tell her, nobody was ever going to hear it from me. I would tell her what I thought, and she said, well, what's your relationship like? I said, it's like any other couple. I tell her what I think. Sometimes she listens to me, and sometimes she don't. She doesn't, and it's the same in reverse. And guess what? 33 years later, nothing's changed except at a certain age you can pretend you're hard of hearing when you're here, when she's saying something you don't want to listen to.